Hello and welcome, everybody. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the entire counselor community that's joining us from different parts of the world today. I am Pooja Gupta Pasari. I'm the Senior Vice President at Cialfo. It's an incredible pleasure to welcome you all for our first ever launch of the global K-12 Rewards Program. It's called Sage Rewards, and for the relaunch of our application program services technology. We're going to have two of our co-founders today joining us who are going to be launching both these sessions. And it's going to be incredibly exciting to see what your response is and what questions and inputs you all have, which we're going to run at the end of the session. Why these are important sessions, that's some context that I would like to give you all. So the K-12 Rewards Program, which is called the Sage Rewards, has been designed specifically keeping in mind what the counselors do day in and day out, and that is support our students. And you guys are at the heart of the student success. So the rewards program has been designed keeping in mind rewarding your actions and your behaviors 10x compared to what you give to the students. Stanley Shia, who you all know and love, is going to launch our K-12 rewards program and share in detail how you can earn these rewards and redeem these rewards, along with William, who's going to share about our direct apply technology and support and services, and mention what has really changed in the past 1 or 2 years and why it's something which is more elevated, bringing all of these things in a curated manner to you. With that, I'm going to invite Stanley, who's our co-founder and CEO.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Pooja, for giving us such a great introductions. So good again, morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about the Sage Rewards, which we proudly would love to introduce to everyone. So the Sage Rewards program, essentially, it's a way for us at Cialfo to celebrate the unwavering dedication and recognition of the impact that you create in your schools and with your students. As Pooja has mentioned, we have thoughtfully designed it to really honor your contributions and provide you with resources to further enhance the work you do in your school and in your profession. So I will quickly talk a little bit about how it would actually function and work. But basically, the Sage Rewards have two components, the counselor wallet and the school wallet. All of us have digital wallets nowadays, right? Not physical wallets. So you can imagine this as a digital wallet where there's a school wallet where some points essentially will go to the school wallet and some points will go to the counselor wallet. Next slide, please. And in fact, we have made it in some kind of game, right? Where there are ranks, where we would love for some of the counselors in our community who contributes plentiful in our activities, our community events, to actually rank up. And this game is just to help us all kind of like elevate ourselves in terms of how you have actually been already contributing to our community. And so just some examples of how points are being earned. As an example, we have some community champions who actually provide referrals to our community. We also have some of you who have been on multi-year contracts, renewing your contracts. So many of these things that you already do will gain you some points. And there are other also points where you gain by opening and basically adopting certain parts of our service or platforms, and we basically want to reward some of this behavior. And of course, some of you who are on this session are involved in hosting our events, our international high school events, where we bring universities to visit your schools, or even just answering surveys and contributing content, or even speaking in some of our community events. All those would basically gain you some points and essentially allow Cialfo basically to reward you in terms of your professional growth. So next slide, please. And so here are some examples of how you can actually deploy the coins, right? So again, there is a school-based coin and there's also a counselor wallet. And hence, 100% of your coin can each year be used for, say, renewing or paying for professional development or certain platform features that we are launching or that you have not adopted. So as some of you would know, Cialfo has adopted a more tiered-based system where you're only kind of paying for in your subscription for what you are using. So, but having said that, there may be some new features that's coming up, which actually some I'll be talking about that really interests you. And if you're interested to be availed to those features, you know, that's where the coins can be used. Secondly, in a big, previous slide, please. Secondly, there's also a big bucket on initiatives and school enhancement, teachers training, student support that you might want to use. So you can see that up to 500 of your coin value can be used each year. Or if you really want to pamper yourself, we have 250 of your coin values that you can use for that purpose too. Next slide, please. So quickly, we have a few counselors who have been benefiting from some of our professional development benefits on the ground, and I would like to highlight three of them. Punki from Indonesia, ACS Jakarta, Nagma from India School, DPS International Schools, and Rao from one of our basis international schools in China. I would love to highlight firstly Punki, who might be in the audience, and oh, Punki is not in the audience, so we might skip him for now. Nagma. All right. Khushbu, is there any way for us to get them to speak? Oh, yeah, great. Nagma is on now. Nagma has been highlighted brought on to our panel. Like Nagma, we would love to invite you to give some words of, you know, how you have adopted some of our features and how you have benefited through, you know, some of the organic rewards that Cialfo might have brought to the community. Nagma, please.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Stanley. Hi, Pooja.
Nice to
It's
see
a
you again.
pleasure to see you. You should warn me beforehand. I should have combed at least. So, but yeah, so you want me to speak about something that I am very, it's very close to my heart. When I started, I was skeptical to be very honest. However, when the first year was testing waters, but it worked so wonderfully with our community that with each passing years, we have, it is for us, direct apply has just fitted in our community very well. And every year, I think the number of applications that we are doing through direct apply is increasing multifolds. And so if you want me to specifically talk about something, I don't know, but the advantage that I've seen is that our students do application fee waiver, they get it and they are very comfortable in then going ahead and even sometimes trying universities that they would otherwise think of. And then some of them have got offers from those universities that they just tried, reach universities. So that's one of the advantage that we have seen. We have got assistance from Cialfo, which is excellent because it's like a double layer of scrutiny of our documents and our application. And that has also worked wonderfully because sometimes, we are human. So when we miss something, there's always a call from Cialfo that, are you sure this is what it is? And that's such a comfort zone for us. So yeah, so some of the things that I feel, and I'm going to continue with direct apply, that has been amazing.
Thank you so much, Nagma. Thank you for being such a great support in, individually as a counselor and also as part of our community. I'll see you perhaps in India in one of our UCAS events soon.
Yes, very soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nagma. Next, we will have Rao, who is from Basis International and Bilingual School, Wuhan. We have Rao, who I believe is also online now. Hi, Rao. We
Hello?
have unmuted you, by the way. Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So Rao, perhaps you would like to, verbalize a little bit about your experience with us and about maybe what have you won from some of our recent initiative.
Yes, definitely. So I've been, as you mentioned, I'm part of the Basis, right now Basis Wuhan, but I've been with Basis for the last 5 years, and we've been using Cialfo from the very first graduating class at Guangzhou, and it's been just an incredible tool that has allowed us to keep track of all the application documents, but also to teach our students how to do school research, to teach our students how to be organized and how to interpret data and ultimately really make a good choice when it comes to finding the right fit with their universities. Most recently, the tool that I've really enjoyed has been the assessments, being able to give students the AchieveWorks personality assessments and the AchieveWorks learning and productivity. It's just been a great starting point for students who don't really know what they want to do when they grow up, what kind of career they might want to pursue. So obviously, every time I see the opportunity to contribute to the Cialfo brand, whether it's through surveys or PD, I always jump at it. And I was very lucky recently to have won sorry, just so I can check really quick, after I did a brand survey, I got 25% off of the U Chicago and Cialfo Counseling Excellence Lab. This is I think it's going to be a wonderful personal development opportunity. I'm really looking forward to being a part of it and to using these new tools to reshape our college counseling program here in Wuhan.
Yep. Awesome. So thank you so much, Raul. Indeed, we were really looking forward to you joining our U Chicago counseling program. It's been at the works for a long time, and congrats again for winning the lucky draw. I've personally never won anything from lucky draw, so congratulations yourself.
Yeah. No, I'm very lucky. I actually do win very often. And I mean, 25% is a lot. So I was very excited for this prize. So
all right, thank you, Raul. I would also just quickly just mention, yes, Nakma and Punki both, due to their adoption and collaboration with Cialfo, they are going to be joining in our UK fly-in that is happening in June, where we are organizing a university tour to visit quite a few universities in the UK itself. So really, during this period, will become a tour guide and actually bring some of our counselors to personally visit some of these universities that we work with. And I think part of this whole journey and purpose also is that Nakma and Bunki will actually experience the environment of what it means to study in such institutions and be able to basically share such experiences with their students in a more impactful and powerful way. So thank you so much, counselors. And so I invite basically everyone here, right? If you are keen to be available to some of these opportunities, look out for brand surveys, look out for, some of our features again, and the collaboration that we really are keenly looking forward to whenever we want, to collaborate with the community of counselors, whether is it to bring universities to your schools or, joining our program. All of these are really valuable. And essentially the Saige Rewards is to help formalize how we can give back to you as counselors as part of our community. Thank you so much, everyone. I think next, I would basically hand over to William.
Okay, thank you so much. Great to see everybody here. We've got 83 attending, which is fantastic. So I'm going to talk about our application technology and services. Go to the next slide. So we have two main solutions for schools. The first is our Direct Apply application portal. That's the software that you actually use in Cialfo, your students use to apply to go abroad. And we also have Cialfo Guides, and guides are the services that we offer to counselors and to families to support their end-to-end journey to college. And so I'm going to talk about Direct Apply first, and then we'll swing back around to Cialfo Guides. So if we can go to the next slide. So we've been running Direct Apply for about 4 years now. So our very first cycle was during the peak of COVID, and we started out. And so we started out on a bit of a journey. And I'm from product, and so we started out from the sort of the technology angle. So we built first our sort of all-in-one platform, and we started growing our community of universities. And when we began Direct Apply, we thought, oh, okay, this is really where we feel we can create a lot of value for schools, because we know how to make great technology, and we can figure out how to work with universities. And so that definitely was true at the start. And as we ran it for the first couple of cycles, we were very intent on evolving and iterating the process to make it smoother and easier for students and counselors. And so we have created this all-in-one platform. And we now have, I think, the largest network of universities and programs that you can apply to globally, which is exciting. We have over 1,000 universities and 75,000 programs are inside Direct Apply now. So if you haven't adopted DA yet, this is a great opportunity to take a look at it. The technology is all there and it's ready, and it's now operating at scale. We have hundreds of schools using it each year, and it's going really well, right? So, but this is where we kind of started. So our first thought was this, but as we kind of started going through and delivering more and more of these cycles, we realized that there were more ways to create value for schools that we kind of discovered along the way. The two next ones, the real-time peak support and the fixing mistakes, they surprised us a little bit more. Like we've always had a focus in Cialfo of trying to provide excellent support to counselors and students. But what we kind of learned is, the application cycle for counseling is the most stressful period of the year, right? And any ways that we can offer extra hands to, assist during that process, to make sure the kids get their things done on time, to make sure things go smoothly. We've discovered through the last couple of cycles that this is a really important way that we can create value. So we often do things like, counselors will say, oh, I have a kid and he just really needs some help preparing his UCAS application. Can you get on the phone? And we always do that. We do that free of cost. We don't charge anything. We just want to make sure that your students are just as successful. So we've learned that really helps. And then what we've also started to do now that we're measuring it is that we've discovered about 20% of applications have mistakes in them, right? And these mistakes are created, by students. And these are even after the counselors have reviewed their applications. We're still finding a lot of errors, right? And this is really frustrating, right? Frustrating for kids because they might, lose an opportunity if they make, a silly little mistake, right? And so these silly little mistakes, unfortunately, they're happening 20% of the time, right? Now on Direct Apply, because we have our own operations teams that are expert in reviewing these applications, we review them all manually along with the counselors. And so before they go into the university, we've had that extra layer of check, and we're able to clear out a lot of those mistakes. And so that, the pairing together, the providing the support during the cycle and resolving mistakes, during critical crunch periods is really where sort of Direct Apply is evolving in terms of its ability to create value for students and for schools, right? The last one, of course, that Nagma also mentioned, is we offer fee waivers. And so we have fee waivers generally for students applying to the UK. We cover the UCAS cost. We're also offering fee waivers to the first application to Australia. And we like the fact, that allows us to be the cheapest way to apply, right? And that's, anyway, so that we think is pretty cool. Let's go to the next one. So for this year, we're doing a few things that I want to talk through quickly. The first is faster offers. So, we have a business beside us called Explore. This is the one that organizes the international high school tours at a bunch of your schools. We work directly with universities. And what we are doing is, with some of our partners, we have an agreement to deliver offers within 2 to 5 days, right? And so for some of these offers, you'll start to see in the application cycle later this year that universities will be able to grant offers really, really quickly. So if you have a kid who's on the fence about where to apply and wants to have an option where they're confirmed they're going to get a response quickly, this might be a great solution for them. The second one is our eligibility checker. And this is where we're deploying artificial intelligence to read the high school transcripts that you're uploading anyway into CDocs, and to also read the eligibility criteria that we have against our 75,000 courses. You know, we license UCAS course data from UCAS, and we have all of the course requirements, including things like if the student needed to have taken chemistry and gotten a certain grade, we can understand in that course that that is a requirement. We can read from their transcript that they may or may not have taken that course, and we can then provide guidance to the student and to the counselor on the platform to warn them that they may not make the, meet the criteria. And so we don't want them to waste a choice, right? And so we can support them that way. The third one is our artificial intelligence application support. And this is where we provide AI in the actual DA form that will help students answer questions that they might have about the form. You know, in every application form, there's going to be things that are a little bit, difficult to understand. There's like a weird question in UCAS called nominated access, and no one knows what it means, right? And it's only the highly motivated students that will go to the UCAS website and look through their knowledge base to find the answer. But we have a really, really simple way of doing that with our future, application form design. The fourth is the email account. So on DA, it's a little bit different from applying, directly to the university. On DA, what we're doing when we represent a student is creating their account on UCAS and other portals, and then preparing that application just as the student has prepared the application on our end. That means that we have the email account, but what we can do is help students miss critical deadlines. And unfortunately, we know we're dealing with thousands of students that apply each year, and there's always a few that miss, booking their Cambridge interview or responding to Edinburgh. These are the kinds of things they're missed by kids, unfortunately, and they lose an opportunity because they didn't see or respond to their email. We want to solve this problem, right, at the margin by bringing the email account inside Cialfo so that the student can see it in Cialfo, so that the counselor can also see it inside Cialfo, so that we can understand those emails and we can tag them to notify the student and tag them to notify the counselor if they're not being actioned. And so we think that could also help make sure kids don't meet critical deadlines, because while most grids are great, some are always a little bit, not running things all correctly at this right time, right? So that's the fourth one. The fifth one is we're also building a scholarship directory. And so in this directory, we're cataloging all of the international scholarships that are available, scholarships that are available to international students, which can be a little bit tricky to find. We want to create a big catalog for those that are on DA so that students can research and discover how to apply for them to sort of lower the cost of their education. So I hope that's really exciting. Let's move forwards, please. Okay, so this was a design example of our AI supporting the student. So here we have the nominated access question. And what we want to do is put the little link next to the question so you can ask Sage. Sage is our, Cialfo mascot that also is sort of our embodied artificial intelligence. And so when you ask Sage, she will then respond and explain, what that question means. And you can ask her questions directly just to confirm that you think you got it right. But we can do other kinds of things. And so if we think you've made a mistake on a question because we understand something else, Sage might also ping you and say, hey, I think you might have made a mistake. So anything we can do to make sure that the quality of the application the student is submitting is as high as it can be, as accurate as can be. So we remove all of the reasons for them not to get an offer. Anything that we can do to support the students on this part of the journey, I think is a really important thing to do. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So here's the second part. This is Cialfo Guides. So Cialfo Guides, go to the next slide, please, is our services that we provide to schools and to students and families, right? And so there are 3 programs that we're offering this year. The first 2 programs go together. The first is our college guidance program, and that's where we have guides inside Cialfo staff that can support students in discovering and choosing universities to apply to, right? That's a guidance program. So some schools take this up. They take it up with all their kids. Many schools do by nomination. That means that we would work with the student at the approval of the school, right? And sometimes that means the student asks us if we can help them, and then we ask for your permission. And sometimes you as counselors can just nominate students that we can work with. This commonly happens because in any given school, right, there's kids applying to all kinds of different destinations, and understanding what's required to apply to somewhere like, New Zealand or Ireland might be quite different from what typical counsellors are familiar with the UK and the United States. And so because there's, just unlimited places that they could go, we wanted to provide a way that, for that student that you're not quite sure, you'd like a second opinion, that we can also provide that support along with your school. And so we offer the college guidance program for any students that you'd like a little bit of an extra hand with, right? The second is our study abroad services program. And so we're providing this service because we want to help high schools and high school counselors provide the end-to-end support through enrollment, right? That's really important to us, that we can, along with you guys, help your students all the way through to when they arrive on campus, right? And we can do that, and we do that for hundreds of students now. And so these are the services that they typically use once after they apply, right? It can be for things that are, in their earlier years, like the summer programs, but it's also often like getting the visa organized, buying insurance, getting a place to live, securing any education financing that they might be interested in. So all of these other things and other questions that parents have, the counselors are usually not, as part of their practice, equipped to answer. We provide that support. And so what we're doing with our study abroad services program this year that's different from last year is that we're introducing it to younger students, students and parents that might have kids in grade 11 all the way through, or even grade 10, all the way through grade 12. So the family, as they're going through this journey with their college counseling program in their school, can understand that their school in Cialfo can help them all the way through to the end, right? And so we offer that, and almost all of these services are, offered completely for free. And so, in certain circumstances, visa assistance also will be free. And so it's a very safe option for you to, suggest that they chat to us, and that we can help them understand how they can get that support all the way through that they need, right? And so this is the College Guidance and Study Abroad Services Program. Now, the last program I want to talk about is the Explore Scholarship Program, which is really quite exciting for this year. And so if we could go to the next slide, that would be great. Okay, so for the student scholarship, this part comes first. Right now, with the hundreds of schools that are using direct apply, when a student registers on Cialfo for the first time, in grade 11 or grade 12, they're asked to sign an authorization form that says they're comfortable with Cialfo representing them to the university, right? And so this Explore Student Scholarship is essentially a replacement of what that is. So there's no additional work that a student would do, right? We just want to help compensate them for working with us, through direct apply and through their enrollment, right? And so because we also work with universities in our sibling business Explore, we can afford to also support students that want to work with us. So this is, we also understand that, direct apply is slightly different from a regular university application. We ask for things that, like we ask for the student's passport to be provided, and we have really good reasons for that. Like we do things like we discover that the student's name that they're using on the university application is not identical to the legal name that they're providing in their passport, which is not a problem typically at the time when they submit their application. But when the university needs to generate their visa, they now have a problem with the government that they're getting their visa from, because there's a mismatch, right? Or things like the expiry date is too soon for the student, they need to go renew their passport. And so these kinds of things, we ask for a little bit more detail because we want to ensure that all of our students are going to be successful all the way through enrollment. It's not good enough that they get an offer if they don't actually go, right? So we want to make sure that that happens all the way through to the end. And so because of this, because it's a little bit different, we want to share some of our goodwill back with students, and we're offering this student scholarship. Now, that's the first part. The second part, which is really exciting, is because we're also working with universities, we can now this year afford also to share this goodwill with counselors. And what we've heard, well, what I've heard from now speaking with a lot of counselors this cycle is that every school in every country is facing inflation, right? And when they face inflation and salaries are going up and all these kinds of things are happening, high school leadership is looking for ways to rationalize budgets. And that has meant that in many schools, the counseling development budgets have been slashed, right? And so it's like, oh, you were going to go to IC3 or you're going to go to NACAC. Well, you're not doing that this year because we can't afford it. We have to do X, Y, or Z. And that's not good, right? We want to support counseling development, wherever we can. And so we want to put a fund together to support this. So for each student that goes through and receives the Explore Student Scholarship, we also want to provide a scholarship to the to schools, right? And so we're running this in beta this last year. And typical schools, we were able to return to them between $2,000 and $6,000. Sometimes this exceeds what you actually pay for Cialfo, which is really exciting. But we want to do this alongside the loyalty program that we have to see how much value we can return back to counselors as well. So yes, so that's me. Thank you so much. Just before I hand off, this QR code here, I'm conducting meetings with schools where I go through this in detail and introduce it to everybody I can. So if you want to scan this QR code, or at the end of the presentation, we'll have another one of this QR code. You can book an hour with me, and I'll talk through this entire process with you, along with your client partner, and we can sort of help work together to get this going. So thank you so much. Now I'll hand over back to Mr. Stanley, I believe, talk about hubs. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, William. Okay, so thanks everyone for paying really close attention. I encourage everyone to stay to the end because we also have some lucky draws later on. So one thing to really highlight is the huge release of hubs, and I believe this is already actually available in everyone's account. So with the release of hubs, essentially we imagine this as a simple place for you as a counselor to create and build your curriculum and share your files and resources to your students in a single place. All basically resources in a single place. Right now, mainly you will be able to create folders, files of different kinds into different hubs areas. And each of these hubs areas can be dedicated for particular purpose. For example, you can design it for grade 9 students, grade 10 students, or for US or for UK. If you do not have your time to actually customize this yet, we have actually alongside hubs brought along a set of curriculum, PSHE curriculum that Cialfo has just launched. Can I have the next slide, please? And so as part of our goal to equip counselors with really useful resources, we have actually started working with some of you too, again, some of the counselors in our community to create really useful resources for grade 8 to 12 students in these following areas of health and wellness, relationships, living the wider world, college pathways, career pathways, and each of these folders will have slides, lesson plans, questionnaires, and assessments. We have launched this set of PSHE, first set of PSHE, will be, in my words, I'll call them phase 1, first set of 20 modules for free. So everybody will get to use it. I encourage everyone to please, go into it, get your hands dirty, help us understand whether it's useful, not useful, what we can improve on, what topics you might want to see in the future. We are actually working on a more extended a set of resources, extended resources of 70 plus more additional modules, and maybe even more coming soon, where it will be available with a small fee. Having said that, we want to first, have this complimentary set of 20 for you to use to see, how and where else we can improve. So I'm personally working on this. So if you have any feedback on the kind of topics you might find useful that you want to hear from the community, feel free to let us know. In any case, with hubs, we have also created a space for you to share some of your resources into the community. And if you are part of the community and you are in hubs, you can check out, what you might find useful and bring it into your own school use case, right? So if you are interested to know more about this and you have yet to fully explore this, please just let us know, let your CPs know, your CXMs know. We will be happy to work with you alongside to bring more resources to the community. Next slide, please. And so I'm happy to announce this basically will be my travel schedule for the next 3 months. So I will be in Shenzhen next week together with UCAS, Shenzhen, Beijing, Shanghai, and then a few weeks later in Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Istanbul, Hanoi, Singapore, and Jakarta to basically speak to many of you and basically bring the UCAS team to speak to counselors about the personal statement reforms. And we will also have exciting content from universities to talk about what they look out for from your students. We will also be having a next best practice workshop. And so I'll encourage everyone to please sign up and look out for our newsletters too. I'm looking at the chats and they're talking about my travel schedule. Thank you so much, guys, for your concern. If you have, scan it. If not, don't worry. We'll send you more details. Just look out for our newsletter. And what do we know? We are now coming near to the end of our time. Sarah, yes, I would love to come to South Korea too. Hopefully get to see you in person soon. But we next will have our lucky draw. So Ankit from our team would actually help run the lucky draw. But if not, just wait a moment. We will actually power up the wheel and we will start spinning the wheel pretty soon.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay, so this is the wheel. Ankit, are we spinning the wheel already? I guess. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, congratulations, Charles. Charles is our first winner. I do believe we have 3. Next, congratulations, Sergio. Wait a minute. Ankit, can you make sure Debbie is included? And Julia too. Okay, we see quite a few people not included. Don't worry, we'll quickly put you in. But don't worry, Charles was the first winner, right? And second winner was who was this?
Sergio.
Sergio. Right?
Sergio.
Sergio. Yes. All right. I believe Ankit has loaded everyone in. Oh, Debbie and Julia. Julia, congratulations! The last minute addition. Congratulations, Julia. You have also won the reward. Congratulations. And so, okay, all right. If anybody have any questions, please, we encourage you to add it into the Q&A. And so congratulations to our 3 winners. You have instantly been rewarded 250 points into your Sage wallet. We will inform you of it soon. And so just keep a lookout for it. Sergio, Julia, right? All right. Questions and comments. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let us know. If not, at the same time, we do have a quick survey for you to fill up. And if you have any interest to speak to William or more on direct apply and guide sessions, please feel free to let us know. So congratulations again to Charles, Sergio, and Julia for the 250 Sage points. Oh, let's just stick on the slide on the survey, shall we? Yes. Okay, meanwhile, if anybody have any questions on what you have just heard about the Sage points and direct apply and guides, please feel free to put your questions in. Or if not, if you want a one-to-one session, please, feel free to reach out to your trusted CPs and client experience managers. We'll be happy to discuss more with you guys. And for those who will be meeting me on the road in China, India, Turkey, and Southeast Asia, I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person. Okay, all right. If not, thank you, everyone. Happy day to you and see you on the ground pretty soon. Take care, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, folks.